Hey guys, today I got another battle for you, and it's against a guy named Delaria. And today I'm playing some OU, and looking at his team, the only potential lead would be his Yon Maga. So I'm just gonna lead off with my Azelf lead, like I usually do, and let's get into the battle right about now. So I lead off with my Azelf, and he leads out with his Yan Maga. Now I didn't know what he wanted to do. I thought he was gonna go for the protect. And it turns out he goes for the U-turn. Now I was thinking, okay. And now he switches into his Latios. Now my Rotom is specially defensive. And this is how I was going to gauge whether he was choice specs or choice scarf. And he takes me out. So now in my head I'm thinking he's choice scarf. So I switch into my Scizor to get a super effective choice banded U-turn on, and he goes into his Jellicent, which takes a nifty chunk from it, 36%. So now I switch into my Celebi to get some nice super effective damage off, and I go for the Leaf Storm because I'm offensive, and I miss. Now that was actually super crucial, as you'll find out here in a little bit. So I take only 48% from Shadow Ball, but he gets a special defense drop. So now I'm going to die next turn. And I thought this Leaf Storm would kill, and looking at the damage, 76%. Now if I would have hit the first one, it would have died, because it wouldn't have got leftover damage, leftover recovery. And then he goes for the Shadow Ball and takes me out. So there goes my Celebi. Now it's 4-6, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So now I switch into my Scizor just to get a bullet punch off to try to take him out, and it does. So now it's 6-5, and it's looking pretty even. So now he switches into his Yamaga. Now I knew he'd go for the U-turn, so I'm just trying to get damage off on him while I go for the bullet punch. And it looks like it's choice banded because I took a lot from that. Now he switches into his Arcanine, and the only thing on my team that can take a Flare Blitz would be my D-Knight. So I go into my D-Knight and I take actually nothing, 19% only. So now this is my perfect chance to set up a Dragon Dance, so I go for that when he switches into his Yamaga. Now, if you wanted to go for the Protect to try to outspeed, I just went for the E-Speed, and it takes him out. So now he goes into his Latios, and the only thing that could take him out would be if I locked myself into Outrage. So I take the chance, and I lock myself into Outrage and take him out. Now it is 4-3, and he goes into his Steelix, which can easily take the Outrage. So he takes only 27% after Dragon Dance, and he goes for the Roar. Now, since I'm roared out, I get roared out into my Azelf. Now, I knew he was going to go for the Stealth Rocks, so I just went for my Stealth Rocks. And I didn't know what he wanted to do, so I was going for the U-turn to get switch initiative. And I switch into my Dragonite. Now, I didn't know what he was going to do here, and he goes for the Gyro Ball. Now, I live with 3%. And that's good because I can get a Fire Punch off and get 29% off him. Now that's actually really crucial. And now that he roars me out, when Dragonite comes back in, he's going to die. So now with my Azelf, I just taunt it because I didn't know. I really had nothing else to do with my Azelf. It's pretty much useless. He goes for the Gyro Ball, obviously takes me out because I'm way faster than him. And now I go into my Lucario. Now since that Fire Punch damage comes in handy, this close combat takes him out. Now that was my only chance of beating this guy because I have no special attackers, and now with that thing out of the way, I think I got in the bag if I use my plan. So now the plan is for me to switch out with my Lucario and get them defense drops off my Lucario and see what he's going to lock himself into. So he locks himself into Flare Blitz while I go into my Charizard. So I go for the Bullet Punch just to try to get some damage off on his Arcanine and also get him some recoil from his Flare Blitz. So that does a lot. Now he's only at 22%. Now the plan was to go into my Lucario and sweep the last two Pokemon. Now I go for the extreme speed to take out his Arcanine, and then his last Pokemon is Zangoose, so I go for the close combat to finish off the game. So that was a good game, Delaria. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.